moment the race started. So we should be seeing it on the restream right now, just like that. And we are underway. So here we are on, we're going to get that synced up on the back end, so no worries about that. Thanks to our crew for working on that. As you see, we are playing in open mode today, and we are for the entire qualifier. There is a couple caveats I'll get to in a moment related to that as we come across them. But we're going to start by either going to Sanctuary or Link's house, and you saw them picking up different items depending on where they started. And it looks like Mikan is already heading, and actually Wadey and Bentizi are heading to the uncle section to see if the uncle or the uncle's chest has a weapon. If so, they'll take care of the escape while they're here, most likely.
Yeah, we also found that 20 rupees were on Link's house, and then we have Willow J. Bradley going for the Sanctuary play right after Link's house and getting 3 bombs. Moon Pearl for Mikan on the secret chest.
We're getting a look at the back of escape quickly. Now, some runners do have a different of opinion as to whether the back of escape, I mean the lumberjack. Some runners have a different opinion as to whether the lumberjack is worth checking until you have the boots, because you don't know if it's going to be required until you potentially have the boots. I personally am on Willard's. I agree with Willard on this. Get the check out of the way early, then at least you can slot that in. You know that you have to go there. In this case, it's a piece of heart. He knows that that's not important.
Yeah, this is something I normally do. Go for Sanctuary mostly, and then go up, check the lumberjack checks just to get it out of the way. It's something I also do when I play casual or even standard modes.
So it looks like the other runners are all heading towards the Lost Woods, where Willard already is. We're going to get to see what's in the mushroom spot in just a moment here. It looks like he's trying to pull the bush crab first, which has some bombs today, and going to work his way around the log maze here and find in the mushroom spot we have, that's just some money, but he's going to pick it up because money is good for Zora.
Yeah, it makes sense for him to pick it up here. Mikan only has 9 wave to check the bottle vendor, and only like 24 for Willow J. Bradley as he picks up a heart piece on the blinds, or not even blinds side, on the feet side out.
3 runners at the same time all dropping in on that, so pretty good, almost sync here on the pickups here. And Wadey right behind picking that up. So all the runners, I believe, are going to head down at this point to Kakariko Village. Logical play from here. And they're all going to head towards Blind. So they're going to be following each other. We're just going to keep an eye on the runner who's leading the charge into Kakariko here, who is Willard J. Bradley right now. And the other runners are going to pretty much be following behind for about at least a few minutes here before we diverge. So we're going to watch Willard and see what he picks up here. And going to upstairs. Go ahead.
Yeah, Kakariko is what really makes or breaks the start of the seed. It really defines what you're going to get. We start off with a hook shot, 300 rupees. The hammer.
Oh. Well, there goes my play for Pyramid Fairy Hammer.
Well, that was a early hammer. It's always nice to see a early hammer in the start of this game. You do not want to see the hammer like very late in the game. You really want to pick it up as soon as possible, and we're just a glove away from Dark World access.
And now Willow's going to lead the charge over to the well, which is the next logical place to go. Another 5 items hiding there. Another place where you need a bomb to blow a hole in the wall, which obviously all runners are going to do. All runners do have bombs from previous pickup. We've seen the chests already. Speaking of, there's more bombs in chests in case you didn't have enough bombs already.
Yeah, pretty much. That bush cow with the 4 bombs was very, very helpful, especially when Willow J. Bradley was trying to find that really early. And he's pretty much good on bombs for the time being. And so far, nothing much over in this well.
Not a good well. Just a little bit of money to help with the financial aspects of buying from the bottle vendor or the King's or whatever the case may be. Speaking of the bottle vendor, Power Glove.
That's your Dark World access.
Yep, we have it already. 4 minutes, we can go to the Dark World. And we have the Moon Pearl as well available. So now heading over to the Chicken Hut. And Mikan taking the lead in the Chicken Hut. Did he not stop the ball vendor or something? He got a slight lead on Willard there. But both pick up their item there, which was not worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. And now back to the tavern.
Oh, yeah, he did get the glove, son. Just some good movement to get in the lead there. And that's the fire rod.
Really nice pickup.
And all our runners are going to now have that, with Wadey being the last again, following behind. And it looks like Mikan is heading up to the Lost Woods area again. What is he doing up here?
My belief is that he's going to go straight for the Dark World. That's his play.
Interesting. I don't know if I've seen this play very much, so it's going to be interesting to see what Village of Outcasts has, if this gives him any immediate significant advantage here. Meanwhile, we have
Jay Bradley opting to do the blind race game check, and he's going to be pretty disappointed when he finds out that it's only going to be a hard piece. I mean, the good thing about that too is that I think he will be able to. Anyway, this blind check is usually just very safe anyway. It doesn't really do much.
I want to report our map check here. We had a red crystal at Ice Palace. That's locking Pyramid Ferry, if that's anything important. We have pendants at Palace of Darkness and Thieves Town. So Thieves Town, one of the best dungeons to check in the game early because you got 4 unique items there, is only a pendant today if you end up having to kill blind for an item.
And pretty much what they'll do is they'll try to check the 4 items and then leave just to make sure. I mean, well, since we have the hammer already, they might just go for the full clear.
They very well could do that because they can check that hammer chest. They can check everything.
Now, Willie going for the back of escape. We have a key for the Dark Cross key, a 20 rupees, and some 300 rupees. And that's enough for Zora money.
We're also getting mini Moldorm Cave, and I didn't see the first couple items there, but the other items were just big 20s and nothing important.
Winnie Ward's got a sword, boots.
Hype cave.
Okay, that's a hype cave. That's a hype cave. I am not going to name that hype cave. That is straight up hype.
You said that was a sword at the front. We did have the boots. We did have the flute. That's a 10 out of 10 hype pretty much right there.
I don't even need to name the hype cave. That was straight up hype.
Yeah, that boots right there. That's a 10.
You're getting a heart piece out of the dam. It's going to open up the flood chest and release the flood treasure and see what is on there. Winnie Ward's going for Stumpy next. And a heart piece.
And Mikan is working in Skull Woods right now, doing one of the more annoying rooms in this dungeon, having to drag that statue around while avoiding the Wall Master.
And do you see picking up bombos from the sunken treasure, as well as J. Bradley.
Very nice. And now the bombos, by the way, and we have bombos and Quake already. That's 2 of the 3 medallions found by Ben Teasy already as well. So our Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, in case anyone who's not familiar with how our tracker is laid out, we have a circle sitting next to Misery Mire and Turtle Rock in the bottom row. That represents the medallion need to open each respective dungeon. Unless it's Ether, we can get into both dungeons. But we don't know until we get to those dungeons and see what it is.
Yeah, it's mostly just there to tell you what we really need. 10 arrows on the digging game, and he is out of there.
Buchanan's working his way through Skull Woods. I missed what the item was in the top room, unfortunately. Will J. Bradley is doing the rest of Mini Moldorm Cave. And actually, silver arrows were there. I did miss that. Silver arrows, and that's where the Quake Medallion was.
That's a really nice stuff pickup for Ben Teasy, and will J. Bradley be getting that too. So Ben Teasy grabbing his hype loadout.
And Mikan is already going back to the bug. I mean, you have all the tools to do it. The game's hinting that you probably need to go here for something. So I can't blame him. Let's get it out of the way.
Yeah, Hammer Mafia, not a big deal. But Ikan's got this. We have the top runners here for this qualifier.
Now, the thing he might be thinking about is it's only 3 hearts. Maybe he doesn't want to do the fight. Plus, he just found an item there. I didn't see if that was the second item or the first item. If it was the second item, he is definitely going to probably come back later. But even so, it's 3 hearts. Yeah, he's doing it later.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Later. Ice Rod Cave had 20 rupees today. Big 20.
Word's doing the Dark Cross while in the dark. A heart piece.
A little life doesn't hurt. So Willer is heading back towards the castle. Now, no, this is not an Aghanim play yet. He still has escape to do, so he's going to be doing the escape sequence right now. Now, to explain, well, it looks like he's actually going back to the Uncle area first. I thought he did this already, or maybe he didn't. Oh, he started at Sanctuary, didn't he? That's why he didn't do this. Okay, he's doing that now.
Yes, that's what he did. He actually did. He went for Link's house first and then went for Sanctuary shortly afterwards. That's why he's doing this play here.
Exactly. And now he has his Moon Pearl, and now he knows he can go the Dark World as well.
Only 10 arrows from the Catfish.
Very early Catfish check. No, sub 10 for Catfish.
Yeah, that is pretty quick. Woody Ward's going for his lumberjack check. He's going to find out it's only a heart piece, so he's going to just breathe a sigh of relief there.
I didn't see on Mikan's side what the item at the Bumper Cave was, and I'm not sure if anyone else checked it yet, but I didn't see enough of it to identify what it was. Now, Willard is doing the aforementioned escape play like I suspected he would, just didn't realize he hadn't done Uncle yet.
One of our trackers, Nif Boy, speculating that it might have been a sword on top of the Bumper Cave, and that's the case, then we need to get that cape if we really want to go for a Master Sword.
And if we don't find any other swords in convenient locations, we might have to go for that, so we'll find out later.
Woody Ward is activating his flute, and now he's got fast travel.
And there's a piece of heart for Ben Teasy. That's one of our boots checks. There's actually, that's really the main boots check, other than the lumberjack cave after you defeating Ganon.
Yeah, that's the only thing they can really do since we do not have the Titan's Miss just yet.
Ooh, that was Sankart in the escape.
Yeah, that was the Boomerang chest that Sankart was at.
We're getting a look at Thieves Town, by the way, from Meekin. And let's see what he finds in there. I did not catch the first couple chests. I'm watching Willard here. But we are going to see what we have in the other chests here. He's coming to the third of those chests right now. There's one more down underneath to the left if he's going to walk off the left in a moment. Those, by the way, our runners are using the hook shot to connect to items that they can latch onto to move quicker, to get past a certain area quicker. This is this actually does save not a lot of time, but it is enough that it can make a difference in a among good runners.
So what Willard J. Bradley was setting up for was a Death Orb. So he intentionally got hit by the ball and chain guy, and then once he checked Zelda's cell, he set a bomb so that he can kill himself immediately to get back to the front, or at least leave the area. In his case, he's going to the Dark Cross.
I'm a little concerned with the fact that we've already found so many. Oh, there's the Titans bit. Speaking of so many items, I'm concerned we've already found so many items here. Now that we have the Titans bit in the treasure game, that's even more of a concern because we're getting a lot of hints for things to do. And that means this seed is going to be completely wide open. This is going to probably be a really good seed for testing what plays runners like to make and which ones end up being the best plays, because this seed is wide open. You can go to several different directions right about now.
Mm-hmm. With that Titan's Mids in hand, he can be able to do, well, he can grab the blacksmith and then just save and quit. It's a little bit small, a little bit of a time, well, like a bit of a time investment, but it's not bad, I guess. I don't know.
Dare I say that Death Mountain is fully open. The only exception is Spike Cave, because we only have like 3, 4, 5 hearts between our runners here, and we don't have any kind of invincibility. There's no way to get through that. So other than that, Death Mountain is completely open right now, I think.
Yes, that is true, and we also have access to Tower Hera. So for Bentizi, this is a play to make. He's got 300 rupees off of the old man, and he's going to do that, do a super speed, which lets him move at Pegasus boot speed at any time he wants and in any of the 8 directions. Normally you can only move in a straight line if you're using the Pegasus boots, but with this glitch, it lets you move in all 8 directions.
28 digs at the digging game today for some arrows, and I'm going to point out what Bentizi was just doing. He checked inside Spectacle Rock the normal way that we did back in version 29, 28, 27, so on, because you can easily check the item, see if it was something you didn't like, and move on. But lately, in the later versions that we have been playing lately, we've also had hint tiles in the game. Now, this is something I wanted to come on later, because he just checked one of the rooms that has a hint tile. You'll notice he did not go to check the hint tile behind that heart container, or piece of heart. That's because hint tiles are turned off for these qualifiers and for the entire tournament for this format. We're not going to have any hint tiles, no hints.
Yeah, if you were watching the daily race, this is a stark contrast to what you saw in that one where we had hints on, but in this game we do not. So they won't have any help for this race. They have to go on their own instincts.
Now, Waiting Words just checked Waterfall. He's doing the fake flippers. So he got in there using fake flippers and got a piece of heart, got a full heart container out of the piece of heart, and was swimming in the cave. So he's just swum out. He's doing water walking now. You do not want to get hit while you're in that water, or the game's going to be confused with what to do with you.
Yeah, the one caveat is that if you're still fake flippering and you take any damage, it's a one-hit KO.
Yeah, for fake flippering, that would be.
Yes, for fake flippering only. Water walking only just resets your positioning because the game doesn't get confused afterward.
We're already having predictions in chat that this won't be a pet seed. Don't give up hope. There's always something on the pedestal. It's just a matter of whether we stop to pick it up.
Yes, that is true.
Gotta leave hope, right?
We have a Master Sword on top of the floating islands. That is one of our third sword here.
So that is two really out-of-the-way swords here, and we don't have the mirror yet. So that mirror is needed to get to that sword. We can get through the cave otherwise, Chokeshot Cave, but we just can't mirror to the sword. So two swords that require a mirror. That mirror might actually be really important today.
Yes, that is true. Only some bombs for Bentisi. He's going to pick them up because he is running short on bombs.
And Wadey is rescuing the old man, getting his $300 tip there. He's going to continue up the mountain and go eventually to where Bentisi is in Tower Hera right now. Now, you'll know Tower Hera is one of those dungeons where if you can avoid doing it until the end, you're going to want to because it's literally the same place that Ganon's Tower is. But you see that kind of play more often in a spoiler log format where you get to see where everything is beforehand. And if you know nothing's in Tower Hera and you have to do it for Crystal, you just do it last. Done. In this format, you're going to find runners typically will check it out while they're on Death Mountain, while they're up here.
He can only gain 3 bombs from the King's Tomb, while Bentisi is sliding their way through the Tower of Hera.
And Benti, we have music.
Willow J. Bradley activating his flutes with audio, so get your 07s in chat, or Crying Face 7 in chat if you're going off of me, so...
And the goose is loose. I guess we'll go with the vanilla one today because I didn't want to come up with anything fancier. As Mikan checks the back of Escape himself here, Bentisi is now fighting everyone's favorite pet worm, Moldorm.
He's going to have that hammer because that gives tempered sword damage for every strike he makes. So it's just 3 strikes and
no rage. No rage either. And that's just
a small key, which means there might have been an item there while Bentisi is drawing first blood. That is the first crystal of the race.
Now, I don't think I saw a second item, so we'll see if Bentisi does go back to the basement if he confirms my eyesight on that. If he does leave, then chances are we have seen both items. He's leaving. Maybe we did see both items.
All right, so now on to Spiral Cave for Bentisi. He decided to stop the Tower Hera first, just from item density alone. Willow J. Bradley grabbing the Titan's Mitts. So Bentisi on the Spiral Cave.
Waiting on his way to Tower Hera, it looks like right now.
And the reason why you would go for Hera first is just from item density alone. Sure, it's only 2 items, but 2 items over 1 item in Spiral is the better play make.
Indeed. And the only potential problem with coming to Tower Hera first that I can think of is that it might orphan the Ether Tablet. So I think the runners may be hoping in this case, because they don't book Medora, that the Ether Tablet may not be important in the seed. I think they're going to be hoping that is the case.
Bentisi now over onto the Eastern Palace area, and Witty Words has shown what happens when you check a hint here in this qualifier match.
There's always a game as to who's going to be the first runner to forget that there are no hints. Weighty Words has lost that game. Thank you for demonstrating that. Nonetheless, though, Weighty Words, we appreciate that. There's our 4th sword if the other 2 are correct. And that would mean we know where all our locations, assuming the Bumper Cave was indeed the sword.
Yes, so that would be the Master Sword. Bentisi might want to just hopefully find that mirror in case he wants to go for that Tempered Sword, which he will definitely want to go for.
At the very least, he can stop for that Tempered Sword on the way to Ganon's Tower because it's literally right outside next door. So I could see him possibly doing that. Bumper Cave is just way too out of the way, and the one on the island is probably more convenient for him if he does want Tempered.
Yes, that is true.
So Willard is going to do his 28 digs and get his wooden sticks that he can't use yet because he doesn't have anything to fire them with. I think we just got to look at library and I missed what the item was. Did you catch that?
It was, I believe, 20 rupees.
20
that
rupees.
was on there. I saw it before. It was 20 rupees.
20 rupees. Perfect. So the library will not be important, and we had the boots anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Woody Ward's taking down Moldorm, getting his key and his first crystal.
Oh, we're gonna get to see what one of the medallions is. Let's watch Mikan right now and see what he finds. I did not catch it.
It's the thing with me. Some of the runners will have quite a good vision of what's going on, so we don't know what's really there until we have a full check. We have a shovel in the Mire shed.
One of our trackers, Mr. Scraft Ninja Jr., thinks it was Quake, so we'll go with that until we confirm otherwise. So looks like Quake is one of the medallions that we need today.
All right, and you're gonna see as the trackers are gonna light up that Quake on the Misery Mire side. So that is what that is. Well, that little indicator.
Yes, it's an indicator that you need that to open Misery Mire. And it looks like Buchanan is heading to the Grove. He has a shovel. I didn't see where he got the shovel, but he was our first runner to pick it up. Just found some money there.
It's a time machine. Sort of. Or time capsule. But, all right. Anyway, Bentisi over onto Skull Woods, which is actually a nice play to make. Considering
we just got nothing from Willard at the medallion, so I was too slow to catch that one, unfortunately. But we are getting confirmation it was indeed Quake.
All right, cool. So Bentisi making their way.
Oh, that's where the shovel was.
Yes. It was in the Mire shed. I did call that out. So.
Yep. So Bentisi is going to work on. Looks like he might. I actually think he might play Mothula and take out Mothula right now.
Yeah, he has his Master Sword. He has the Fire Rod. He is fine to do this. So I like this play.
Willard going straight for the Grove, just like Buchanan did, and is going to be disappointed.
Now, when you see Weighty Words do his Skull Woods, you may notice that he moves up and down in order to when he's pushing the statue. This actually saves a little bit more time than if you're just pushing it normally.
Buchanan is dropping down the mountain. Looks like he's heading back over to the hookshot section of Death Mountain. Weighty getting his big key. Now, this big key is a rather useless big key, except to open the chest. You don't actually need it to fight the boss. The boss is not locked in to a room. But it opens this chest, and you're walking by it, so he's going to go and open it.
And just a compass.
And Buchanan's doing Paradox Cave. I don't know if we've seen this yet, but if not, we will see it now. Nothing in the, I think it's referred to as the upper section, even though it's downstairs.
Yeah, for whatever reason, the upper section is 2 items, and the bottom section is 5 items. Don't ask me why. It's a paradox.
That's what the cave is, a paradox. And so far, nothing that I see there. Just some money, some hearts, more hearts.
Bentisi got his kill onto Mothula and is rewarded with a bottle, so that will allow him to check the sick kit.
And that's 2 crystals for him already. So he's on a in terms of our restreamers, he's off to a bit of a lead here so far.
Yeah, the only thing he's actually kind of behind on is that Titan's Mitts.
Yes. Now they are in. I'm just trying to think of the first one was in Village of Outcast. Second one was in. Where was the second one again? I'm trying to remember.
It was in Bumper Cave.
Bumper Cave. That's right.
And then we had our 3rd one on the Floating Islands, and then the 4th one on Celestial.
No, that's the sword. I said gloves.
Yeah. The gloves were. Oh, the gloves were on the treasure game. That's what it was. The chess.
Yeah, chess game, and there was a second one. Yeah, I think that was the Titan bit actually. So yeah, it was. So he just once he gets to Village of Outcast, he will. Once he's at Village of Outcast, he will pick that up. So Will is we're now bumbling through the Paradox, referred to as Paradox Cave. And he's trying to bomb jump out of there. He doesn't want to come out the other way because it's slower, so this is quicker.
Yeah, it's one of the more easier bomb jumps of the game. It's a simple diagonal bomb jump that it actually pushes you in the right direction, the right position that you don't have to worry about falling. If you, the only thing you worry about falling is if you fall from too far on the y-axis, which would be the bottom portion of that.
Wadey gets the kill on everyone's favorite big bug, Mothula. And McCann gets his, I think it was $50 from the the big chest in Tower of Hera.
Will J. Bradley off onto Hera. Mikon about to approach Moldorm.
Bombs was the other item. I never saw that basement item. So bombs and $50. There is no coffee break item today.
Actually, so we made a mistake. That was the ether on the bomb. On the bumper cave. That's what it was.
It was ether on bumper cave. Interesting. So there's still a sword at large.
Yeah, there's still a sword out there. So that's all 3 medallions accounted for.
Now, we don't have a cape, so we can't pick up the ether yet, if that is the case, that we need it today. So if we get to a rock, we find the ether is needed, we're going to have to find a cape somewhere.
And Mikon might want to check that because he's got the Titan's Mitts, and Bentisi will be getting his Titan's Mitts here. But since Mikon's already on the mountain, he might want to check that after he does his Spiral Cave checks.
He's heading in that direction. He might very well be doing that right now. He can't go inside yet because we don't have the Palace and Mire. Now, unless you are brave and you want to hover across, it's otherwise almost impossible to do that to get the first item. But you can do that. I have seen it done.
Yes, it's possible. If you're an expert at hovering, then you are allowed to do it. So I guess. I don't know. Yeah,
there are a lot of little glitches that don't break the game that are allowed in this. For example, there's actually one we'll talk about in Palace of Darkness if we don't have the bow when we get there. But there is another one in Gan's Tower with that. It kind of uses the same lack of a bow that is not allowed. So we'll talk about that later if it comes in.
Will J. probably taking down Moldorm. Gonna get his first crystal. Bentisi in Thieves Town right now. And yeah, that's why I predicted Mikon is actually heading for Dark Death Mountain.
Not a bad play. So definitely get that check out of the way, and you know if you have to pick up that ether once you get it. I think he did check Bumper Cave earlier, so he knows the ether is there. Definitely a good check to get out of the way.
Yes, that is true, because since he was the first one to check that location to begin with. So, also, you might also want to notice that Mikon actually clipped through that block just by using the hook shot.
They didn't do it as well as necessary, though, to get through it quickly. If you do it properly, you can clip right onto the square and go to right immediately. But he wasn't able to move to the right. He didn't clip in properly, so he had to go up the stairs, come back down after pushing the blocks, as the game intended you to do it if you wanted to go that way, and then go back that way.
Yeah, so we have a shield and a piece of heart, and I was going to continue on what I was going to say about that. Earlier in the race, we did see a clip like that over on the dam. Is because as you're pushing a block, that game technically considers it as a sprite and not a tile. So if you time it just right, you're able to clip through blocks.
Yes, and I haven't figured out very well how to do that yet. There is another trick you can do with the mirror that they can't do yet to cause blocks to disappear. That one you don't want to do in a dungeon, though. Yeah,
because since how the mechanics works, if you try to use the mirror erase glitch on a dungeon, it just resets you back to the beginning of the dungeon. And we also found that Mikon checked what Turtle Rock has in his bombos, so we do not need that ether medallion. We also found that we have a sword and a shield.
Yeah, I was trying to get that out there.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect segue.
And Willard is doing a Super Bunny Cave right now. So yeah, now we know where all 4 swords are for sure this time. And 3 of them are in good enough locations that if they feel they don't need the gold sword, many runners don't need the gold sword, they won't pick it up.
So Will J. Bradley also going to be doing that, and you'll be breathing a sigh of relief as that's the only medallions that he needs, and this was found right at the start of the game. So Mikon going to check that too. And yeah, he's trying to do that clip that I was mentioning earlier and was not able to get that.
Yeah, Mikon did not get that chest. He tried to clip in the same way, and the clip just apparently isn't working for him today because He wasn't able to get the chest, has to go back in, push the block inside. So I'll do it normally this time, get the piece of heart, then go outside, grab my bombos. And he knows at this point he has both medallions that he needs to get into those dungeons.
Yes. And Witty was actually going for the full clear on Thieves Town.
Yeah, we're going to get to see what the blind pun of the day is. Even though it is a pendant, this is not a bad dungeon to clear even if it's a pendant. Because you're already here, you're already checking 4 items. If the last item's on blind, just get it done.
Yeah, especially when if it's a progression item too. So they'll have to incentivize having to go back into Thieves Town for the rest of the other runners.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time to go back later. You're better off just spending the extra 30 seconds to get blind done at that point.
There's a key in the blind cell. That means there will be a potential item, because if there was an item there, blind cannot have a key.
That's a bottle.
It will be locked behind. I mean, the key would be locked behind the big chest.
That was our second bottle of the seed. I didn't see where the first one was, but Bantisi and Wadey did find another bottle each. Willard and Meekan did not find a bottle yet, so Sick Kid is not on the table for them.
Yes, and the good news for him is that it's a fairy, so if he ever takes a death, he will be fully revived. Well, not like partially revived, but he will be revived.
This can be a bad thing right now, though, because they don't have a mirror yet, so they can't do warps to starve a dungeon. That fairy would actually hinder a death warp if he decides to try one. We'll see if that actually comes into play later.
And just in case you were wondering, that blind hint said that blind pun said the shore. The beach. I'm not sure I can make it.
The beach. I'm not sure I can make it.
Yes, I'm not sure I can make it.
Interesting. So
Witty Words grabbed the green pendant for killing blind. Since I haven't taken up enough time to talk about things, might as well explain. You might explain to me what the blind script is.
But I actually don't know it as well myself. I was hoping you did.
Oh, okay. So if you know how, if you get through the dungeon a right amount of time, if you do it properly, full clear or whatever, you are able to find out to kill blind in a pretty much on a scripted manner, just because the way the RNG works for blind. So.
And if you can do the fight on script, you know exactly where blind is every time you fight him. But if you actually get out of the dungeon, this much I do know. If you get out of the dungeon because after losing to blind, let's say you don't do the fight properly, you're going to come back, and blind will no longer be on his script. It's going to be a random setup whenever you come back in the room in that case.
Yes, and looks like Bentisi actually making the play from Misery Mire.
Willard is doing the fight for, or the fight with the bug momentarily. He's going to be finishing Skullwood. And yeah, Bentisi's doing Misery Mire. This is a very early play on Misery Mire. I'm actually a little surprised to see this, especially with no bow to use those silver arrows yet.
Yeah, that is actually pretty interesting for him to do it. He might opt to go for the bomb strats, or just do it for the spins and the like, but most likely the bombs. And we actually do have a Godmire.
Now that doesn't mean anything though, because we still have to find 2 items here. We're not in go mode, so we have to find our items.
Yes. Technically speaking, what a Godmire is if you're in go mode and you find a big key in the first 2 chests, you don't have to do anything else. You just got to go through it and clear.
So this is why a lot of runners also like to leave Misery Mire for later. This is why I'm surprised, and now Meekan's in here too. Actually, this is why I'm surprised to see our runners doing this so early. They must be getting a hint that Misery Mire is indeed important in today's seed, and that's why they're coming here early.
Yeah, the hints are all signs are pointing to that for them at least. Willie J. Bradley finishing off Skull Woods, and Witty Ward's getting his 50 rupees off of the blacksmiths.
And Wade is currently making his way to the Palace of... actually, this is back in the Eastern Palace side, I think. So he's making his way over to Sahasrara right now from the looks of it. We'll see if he does eventually try to go past the Darkness, but he would have to go back to the portal if he chooses to do that.
Mm-hmm. Bentisi going to open up the cutscene chest. It's a 17-second cutscene, which is just amounts of shaking. A whole lot of shaking.
And if you wonder why lighting torches is enough to move a wall, don't question Nintendo logic.
Yes, it's some weird fantasy thing about that Legend of Zelda has.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
Ooh, flippers.
Ooh, nice find for Bentisi.
Yeah, that's great. That's an item that is going to open up Swamp Palace. Now, Swamp Palace is a crystal. They do have to have that cleared today. They do have the hook shot. They do have the hammer. They can go to town on Swamp Palace with that. So
When they get the
that
mirror,
too, and once they get the mirror, of course, yeah. They still need the mirror to get in. But other than that, they're all set to go otherwise.
So for Bentisi and Mikon, they need to get the Palace and Mire in order to at least fully clear Vitrius. So, yeah, that's a thing. So
I'm going to call it. The mirror's right here.
Nope, that's the key. So Bentisi's out of there.
I guess he might not like the dark room in Misery Mire that much, so he's going to wait and put that off until later.
Yeah, so... And then, yeah, they're still need to get the Palace and Mire anyway, so they not even need. They don't have to. They need to. Don't. What am I saying? They don't. They can't do it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they can't finish it. Yeah, exactly. That's true. We're having calls for Lamp and Ice Palace, which and also a call for Kane and Ice Palace with Mirror on Vidi. So Chad is already going to town on the predictions here.
Mm-hmm. Bentisi now going into the Dark Death Mountain.
I'm going to try and take a look at the most important element, which is what can still be on the pedestal. Unfortunately, we know the bow cannot be. We know that Ice Rod can be. Lamp, no, it can't because you have 4 dungeons that need it. And I don't think Cane of Samaria... No, Cane of Samaria, I guess, could be on the pedestal, couldn't it?
Yeah. And one of the more random things I found out while I was looking through the code of the randomizer is that the Moon Pearl can even be on the pedestal, but it's very, very rare that it can ever happen.
Yeah, you would have to have all 3 dungeons in the Light World be pendants for that to ever happen, because you can't... or not, actually, no, I take that back. Am I saying that correctly? Yeah, you would have to, because you would have to be able to pull the pedestals. They have to be in the Light World.
Yeah, and that would mean you need like things like the boots, mirror, bow in the Light World.
It's a very, very finite setup, but it can be done.
And this is why that Moon Pearl on the pedestal will more likely going to be showing off in Plando tournaments.
Exactly. You might see it in a Plando more than a regular rando. There's the Temper Sword, or the Bacon Blade, as I call it, for Bentisi, and his Fire Shield. And Mikan, I think he's the first to check the Hobo, unless I missed one. But
no, he actually got it earlier, so that was half magic.
Yeah, waiting it with the fake flippers, that's right. So he got the half magic. And that's I believe that was the fairy bottle for Willard right now in Thieves Town.
Yes, that was the fairy bottle.
And Mikan is heading up to... Oh, he's going to go to Ice Palace.
I respect this play.
I respect it too. Not a lot of runners like to do this.
3 items. I was going to originally say 3 hints, but since we're running on the qualifier rules, meaning that we can't do any hint, that becomes relevant.
Yeah, normally you would look at this as a possible hint value as well, but without hints, that takes 3 items right out of the equation. What is going on Willard's screen?
That is something new. I'm more familiar with the mirror blinds, the mirror blind glitch, but not this.
Yeah, I've never seen a darkened blind room before. I mean, I guess it's another way to make the fight somewhat blind.
And there's the Palace and Mire for Mikon over in Ice Palace. Excellent find.
Didn't someone in chat say Canis, Samaria, and Ice Palace and Mire on Vidi? That we're halfway there.
Yes. And that was one of our trackers, Mr. Scrumpton to Tuna.
Yeah, I think he's hoping that Mirror is on Vidi, and then we will have to build the pyre for him. And this is a little trick. There was a little trick you just saw on Mikan's side to get those 2 Stalfos out. Very, very nice to see that done properly. I still can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that either. So pay attention to what Mikon is going to be doing right now. He's intentionally dropping down the switch to do what's called the Ice Palace Bomb. And gets it.
First try.
It's 2 pixel perfect for positions for not only the bomb and yourself. Mostly yourself, though.
And it's easy to learn it for one character, but then as soon as you change your character, it can be a lot harder to have to relearn it for that new character. So usually if you find you've learned it on one character, that runner is probably going to use that character and keep using it because they know how it works for that character. It's too hard to learn it for a different shadow.
Yeah, me personally, I use Yoshi, and I know the positioning for the bomb jump for my sprite.
Ooh. A lot of making shots at the freeze or a miss there, but he did get a second try and found some bombs in that chest. Going to drop down instead of bomb jumping across. Willard is going back to Strasshall with his green pendant. Useless pickup of some bombs there.
Witty Words is actually going to open up Turtle Rock for later.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to get the opening done because you're going to have to do it anyway, but he basically wanted to know how you open it, and since he's there, he might as well open it.
Yes.
And again, he's not going in to check the hint because there's no hints. He's going to be getting his items from Hookshot Cave, which include his what will be his Tempered Sword at this point. And not really much else worth talking about. Willard going to the Hobo.
20 rupees over on Ice
Tea
Cave.
He was on his way to Hobo, and then he thought, you know what, maybe I'll go to Ice Pad. Nah, I'm going to go to Zora.
Yeah, a little bit undecisive for Willow J. Bradley.
So he's going to get the Waterfall Cave checks out of the way. Nothing useful in here again, I remember. And I'll take that back. Blue Mail, I forgot the Blue Mail was in here. So that is somewhat useful. Some armor is good.
And you may have noticed that he's back on the fake flipper state. He got a heart piece, and that actually refilled his health. So he's back on that state.
Yeah, I alluded to that earlier when someone else did that. And also notice that he checked the fairy. What the fairy gives, because he didn't want to carry that bee around with him. So he released the bee to, accompany the fairy and, nice little pet for the fairy. By the way, that is money on the island there. And he checked, what happens is that what the fairy gives is randomized. It's going to be a different item that can go in a bottle, one of 5 different items in each seed. It's either the red potion, blue potion, green potion, fairy, or another bee that you just got rid of. In this case, you get your green potion. In this case, it was green potion. Oh, it can also be nothing? Okay, in this case, it was green potion.
Yeah, I had it happen before, and it can give you nothing.
I didn't know you could get nothing from that fairy.
Trust me, it happened to me before when I was racing, or one of us at least playing a steed. It actually happened to me, and it made me feel bad. So, Mikon actually clearing Cold Stare, getting his second crystal.
That must be incredibly rare. Anyway, yes, Cold Star, we missed the chance to talk about him, so we'll talk about him later. Willard is walking over to the Hobo now, water running, I should say, over to the Hobo.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's a water walk. It's one of the setups you can do while fake flippering. And since Mikon has both the Tower of Hera and Ice Palace crystals, and both of them are red, or 5/6 as we call them, he's going to go for the Pyramid Fairy.
I like this play. This will check the pyramid at the same time because we have not been to the pyramid yet. So that's 3 items. That's fairly item dense if you consider it compared to some locations we'll be checking right now. So that's 3 items we're getting out of the way by doing this. I don't know if Mikon did Catfish yet, but if he didn't, he could also wrap in Catfish and Palace of Darkness with this as well.
I would imagine he already went for Catfish, but I might be mistaken. Willard J. Bradley going into Ice Palace.
Our third runner there, Bentizi, just went in there a little bit ahead of him as well. Actually, no, Lady did too. 4th runner, sorry.
Yep, that means both of them got the Palace and Mire, and will be getting it pretty soon.
Meanwhile, we're going to get the Pyramid Fairy check out of the way. This might be the reason why Mikon wanted to do Ice Palace, but the Palace Mire being there was a nice bonus.
Yeah, definitely.
And Piece of Heart on the Pyramid Ledge, so that's not worth any time or attention. And let's see what this fairy has today. Another bottle. And a lamp!
Ooh.
And getting rid of that B immediately, we're going to get the other fairy check. Let's see what this fairy gives you. The Plumpatunia, as I like to call her, she gives you another B.
But it's a golden bee.
Still a B.
Yeah, the one significance about the golden bee is that you can release it on the bottle vendor and he'll give you 100 rupees for it.
You can only do that once, though. And the gold bee, I think, can also be used in certain fighting scenarios as well. But like fighting Mothia, for example. But this could also cause some unwanted side effects used with care.
Yes, that is true. And it looks like Mikan did not go for it, so he's off the catfish.
So the other runners are all working through Ice Palace right now. They're going to find items that Mikan has already found. So we're at the 45-minute point of the race. Let's just talk again briefly about what this is that we're doing here today. This is the SpeedGaming Live 2019 Qualifiers, Tournament Qualifiers. One of several games that we are hosting qualifiers for on the SpeedGaming channel over the next few weeks. This is qualifier number 9 for this particular set of qualifiers. If anyone types !SG Live in the live chat, you can get information on the website for the SpeedGaming Live qualifiers, as well as all the information about the event coming up on October 24th to 27th in Herndon, Virginia. And I wish I could go. I'm going to unfortunately miss it, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing the broadcast live here on SpeedGaming from that weekend when the event is going on. Now, the top...
Yeah, and I won't be able to make it too, because of finance concerns. And but I'll be watching the restream too. I'll be watching it live, and you got a whole lot of obviously interesting and a lot of fun things there. You have of course, you have our game, Link to the Past Randomizer. We also have the Ocarina of Time Randomizer, or Zooter, and we also have Super Mario Maker 2.
So just to finish my thought as well, the top 3 runners from this, not just this qualifier, but all the qualifiers combined. This is one of 5 qualifiers these runners have to do. They can only participate in 5 qualifiers, and they have to do 5 qualifiers. The top 3 runners averaged at the end of the entire qualifier period will automatically proceed to the live event and get part of, if not all of their way funded to get to the event. So we can ensure that they are able to participate at the event. And
yeah, all their travels are going to be subsidized, and everything will be nice.
Yeah, it'll be really nice, and it's a good way to make sure we can get the top speed running competitors of this game at the event and put on a good tournament. There are also qualifiers at the event that you can take part in if you are at the event as well. I think there's going to be a marathon going on during the event as well. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that as well. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a marathon going on too. That's all the tournaments are going on and everything else. There's also be some mini tournaments on there. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun to witness.
Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I should also point out, make sure to follow the runners as well. I'll put their links in chat. For those who are watching on our YouTube channel, by the way, it's twitch.tv/ the name of the person that you're trying to follow. Now, I think we have the wrong names in our chat right now. So we'll try and get those updated for you for those of us on the live chat. But I think many of the names are as you see them on the screen. Willard J. Bradley, I know, is exactly as you see it on the screen. Waiting Words, I believe, as well. And I think Ben Teasy is too. I'm not sure if Mikan's is different, but we'll try and get that clarified.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you're those who are watching on the that's on the stream right now live, be sure to follow our trackers and pretty much our crew, Mr. Scruff, Ninja Tuna, and Nif Boy, of course, myself, Professor Renderer, and my co-commentator Cyclone.
Thank you. Cyclone GU is my Twitch too. Speaking of that, but definitely feel free to follow the runners. They are the more important people here. And Mikan's channel, by the way, I was right. It is different. It's Mikan's Box for those who are watching on YouTube. Mikan's Box is how to find him.
All right, Witty Words going to the Mire area. Looks like Mikan's going to be taking his Cancer Mario up to Turtle Rock instead.
I think we lost Ben Teasy's feed for a moment here. We'll see if we can get that rectified in... might have just lost connection for a moment, so we won't worry about that for right now. We still haven't talked about Cold Stare, and Lady Words is already out of there in Mizumara, so let's take the chance while Willard is there to talk about Cold Stare. Cold Stare is a boss who is encased in ice. Your job is to get him out of the ice and then, well, kill it. It looks like a single eye. It looks like it's an easy kill, but there's actually 3 eyes there. You're trying to get them all in the corner, just like that, before they can separate. Willard did not get them before they separated, but still got the eyes down in very short order while avoiding the icicles falling from the ceiling that do 2 hearts of damage. I think that's without the blue mail, by the way. So he does get the boss down. He does get his crystal.
And the way you can open up the shell is one of 2 ways. Either what Willard J. Bradley was doing with the fire rod and his half magic, or you can use the bomb boost medallion to completely destroy it.
Little fun fact, by the way, if you're playing in swordless mode, I believe it's swordless mode. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong mode, but you actually see the pendant medallions on the floor in one mode. Where you are able to use the medallions if you are not, because without the sword, you're not able to use the medallions normally. In Ice Palace, you'd actually see bonus medallions on the floor where you can use the bonus medallion.
Mm-hmm. And so Weighty Wards now, through Ms. Mire, having a little bit of trouble with this dark room. This is one of the more annoying dark rooms in the game. Omicon taking the item dense route and going for Turtle Rock instead.
And Wade did not go to Pyramid Ferry, so he does not have that lamp that Mikan has. And that would make that a lot easier. Now, we also, by the way, still don't have the bow. I think we're getting close to the point where we might have to start talking about the bow glitches that this game has that are and are not allowed. But again, we are waiting for Palace of Darkness to be visited to do that. We may not even get there because we have Pendant there. Unless the bow is in there, we're probably not going to be going there.
All right, a little bit of update regarding Bentisi. He has unfortunately forfeited from the race.
Oh, must have had a technical problem. I'm very sorry to hear about that. So I don't know if we're going to replace Bentisi or not. Either way, we will have 3 other runners that we can still follow in the meantime here. If we can, I would like to get another runner in there. I'll leave that up to the setup crew if they want to do that, though.
Mm-hmm. So Mikan now on the more annoying rooms in Turtle Rock in pretty much the entire game. This chain chomp room, and so gets to no problems.
And we're doing the Vitreous fight right now without the bow and silver arrows available. This is annoying, and Wadewords just showed how hard this fight is. He got nabbed by an eye, but he's also being rescued by a fairy. So that fairy is coming in handy for him.
Yeah, it only rescues him for 7 hearts, but that 7 hearts is candy. So, yeah, there's that.
Looks like it was the lightning that got him, not the eye.
Yeah, the lightning was what killed them there.
Yeah. What, quote-unquote, killed him. Mikan is going to go check the Lava Island chest. I don't think he's in a position to steal the key right now, so he is indeed going to the Lava Island chest. By stealing the key, I meant not opening. From Vitreous. By stealing the key, I meant not opening the door and going somewhere else. But since that could have been an important item, that's why he did not do that. He did open that chest. Yeah, and Mikan's going to be kicking himself in the foot there as Weighty Wards grabbed that ice rod from Vitreous. Yeah. That was the right call to make for Weighty Wards to go into Mire first. Yeah, that was... Like, it's kind of ironic in a sense that we see Mikan going through Turtle Rock as we find the ice rod for the first time. And it's just one of those cases where you suddenly look up Mikan's screen. It's like, oh, no, he can't finish this. So that means he is going to be double dipping Turtle Rock. Yeah, which is unfortunate for Mikan. So we are going to get to see what is in the Mimic Cave, though. Now, everyone well, we're not going to get to see it. We don't have a mirror. Never mind. Yeah, we don't have the mirror. Weighty Wards is going to be going for the the Waterfall Fairy. Or not the Waterfall Fairy, the Pyramid Fairy. I don't know what I'm saying. Our tracker, Mr. Scruff Ninja 2, is saying he wanted the mirror on Vitreous. He'll take credit for the ice rod instead. All right, Mikan now on the. I mean, that's so annoying dark room if you know what you're doing, but it's still kind of annoying anyway. It's not that you have to like. It's not that annoying if you know the path. Mainly just push in the right direction, you're good.
Yes.
But you have to stop and push the switch to open the door and possibly get a magic potion if you need some magic. Other than that, it's just traveling through the room in the right path.
All right, so Mikan now on the laser bridge.
Let's have our mirror. That would actually lead him down the rabbit hole in the swamp. That might be bad.
Yeah, and also since Mikan had the mirror shield, this will be a lot easier for him to do this. And there, speaking of the mirror and laser bridge, there you go. You have good foresight.
Yeah, I had a feeling that mirror was going to be there because it's going to lead him to Swamp Palace. I actually feel bad for Mikan right now because he's going to probably go to Swamp Palace before going back to Misery Mire to get the item he needs, which we know the Ice Rod is at Misery Mire on Vitreous. So, but he is going to get our Mimic Cave check that I forecasted a minute ago out of the way, and we're going to get
that's it's a little weird for going for Mimic Cave, and finding that the always in the. In order to get the Mimic Cave, you need to get the mirror out of Laser Bridge, then mirror, and then go for that, which is like 5 rupees.
So yeah, let's see if I'm watching to see what Mikan does right now because I suspect he's going to go to Swamp Palace. He is going, he's going exactly to Swamp Palace. So he would not have been in go mode anyway. He still has to search Swamp Palace anyway because we still have not found the bow anywhere as far as we know. So the bow could be in Swamp Palace. This could be a good play to find the bow. But he will not be able to go mode from there because he is still looking for that Ice Rod.
Roger Bradley down to 2 hearts as he's going through the dark room of Misery Mire. Mikan now going for K45, taking that now newly acquired mirror and just doing some other check. We have our 3rd bottle, which is a fairy in a bottle.
Now, a lot of runners at this caliber don't need all of those bottles, so you're not going to find them going out of their way to get bottles if they're just going to pick up the ones that they find along the way. But usually having 2 or 3 on hand is a nice backup just in case you're having a bad day. It's good to have at least 1 potion on hand if you're able to hold on to that potion throughout the game. But most runners aren't going to go out of their way to find potions. They'll just try and get a fairy along the way if they have the bug net or something like that, for example.
Yeah, preferably they'll have something like a blue potion and some air and fairies to get through the game.
We'll learn actively using the fairy here instead of waiting for a death revival. So that saves some time from potential death to, and it would work in this case because he's down on 2 hearts already, so it already saved him some time. He just has to manage to finish the fight without taking a death here. And 2 eyes left without arrows. This is, okay, he got it, just for the big eye now. Gonna get a spin slash in. There's another spin slash, a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 2 more, I think. Nope, actually I lied. It's 16 on this. I thought it was 12. Or 8. So there it is.
Mikan making the plunge for Swamp Palace, which is unfortunate for him to have to do this.
Well, again, the bow could be in here. I would have laughed if that was the bow. The bow could be in here, and it very well could be, for all we know, in the big chest of Swamp Palace or on the left side of Swamp Palace, and other runners may not want to make that play. So if that could work out in his favor, we'll see how it works out.
And what Mikan did with the hammer was an item dash. This let him knock down, at least break all the pots in a quick succession while he's dashing with the Pegasus boots. Saw that originally with the hammer pegs a while back.
So Wadey is now doing Turtle Rock. Unlike Mikan, he will be able to complete this fully, and he will be probably happy to find the mirror as well along the way. But it's going to be interesting to see if he decides to double back and check Mimic Cave before beating Trinex, because it's a long walk to get back to Mimic Cave. This is going to be an interesting decision for Wadeywards here when he gets to that point. We don't see this very often.
Yeah, so looks like RJ Bradley's opting to do this as well, going for Turtle Rock, since he does have that Ice Rod in hand. There's a book, Medora in Swamp Palace.
Now, that is one of our 2 ways into Desert Palace, but we already have the other way, which is just fluting to the desert, going into the dark world, and then mirroring into the light world.
Also, as far as I'm aware, that the pet is dead, considering that we need to get the bow.
Yeah,
for
you're absolutely
Pod.
correct. The pet is dead. You can't have the bow on the pedestal at this point. So you couldn't anyway for this seed. So the pedestal is not going to be anything important. But as I said, it is still a pedestal seed. There is still an item there. It's just a question of whether we pick it up, and we're not going to pick it up.
Yeah, we have pretty much everything we know.
Exactly.
We're just a bow away.
No, because
pretty much.
now, actually, you know what? I'm actually just rethinking here. No, we don't need. Okay, I was just thinking we might need it for something in Spike Cave, but no, we don't. Actually, no, Spike Cave could have. No, never mind. I'm overthinking things.
Yeah, you're gonna need the Burna and the cape for that.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to think if Burna or Cape would be on pedestal. It could. I have actually seen Kana Burna on pedestal before in a logically required situation. Obviously, the runners were not picking up the Kana Burna because the runners know how to get around without that. But I have seen it in a situation where it was logically required for Laser Bridge to get the pedestal. So I was just trying to think if there was a way that could be in there, but it wouldn't affect this seed in any way. Now we have Argus on Mikan's side. Argus is covered by Argai, and yes, I'm talking like a pirate. Don't mind me. So he's going to pull all those Argai off of there. They tied to a couple sword slashes. I might even just be one on the tempered sword, but it looks like two. Once all those Argai are off, and Argus is going to fling him at him periodically. So you have to get him off with the hook shot. Kill them, and he got that one back. So last one is on right now. Trying to get it off, but it's not coming off. There it goes. It's dead. So that means that Argus is now isolated. He has to wait for it to jump up in the air, and then it will jump down to attack him. We can now sword slash him or use Fire Rod. That works too. Silver arrows are also good.
Yeah, one other thing you can really do with a Master Sword is if you hold out your sword and let it charge and hook two Argai, you're able to just do a spin slash and knock down two at the same time.
We're trying to get the Chain Chomp chest right now, avoiding Chompy, everyone's favorite pet dog.
Yeah, the Chain Chomps in this game deal a ton of damage, regardless of any male.
It's quite a difference from Link's Awakening, where you have a friendly Chain Chomp who eats things for you.
Yeah, because admittedly, Link's Awakening was meant to be a parody.
Exactly, and it works.
That's what even the developer said. It was meant to be a parody.
Yeah.
of Zelda.
Exactly. So Mikan is working his way over to the left side of the swamp right now. I like this play. We still have a bow at large. Now a little difference with how Mikan routed this. If he was in, if he had that ice rod earlier already at this point, and he had just the bow left, I would have been commenting about how playing to Argus was a better play than going left side at first, because in that case, if Argus had the item, he's in go mode anyway. But he's not in go mode yet, so that doesn't apply to the logic at all here. He could have done it in either order, and it would have worked here. Wadey getting his mirror in his bug net. And he is mirroring to check Mimic Cave. This is, in my opinion, the correct play. It is a really long walk to get back here. Too bad it's just 5 rupees. Mikan floods the chamber, and that's going to open up the left side for him. And now Wadey's going to work his way back through the other portion of Turtle Rock. Willer's going to have his own decision on Mimic Cave. Now, again, he doesn't have the bow. He could be thinking the bow is Mimic Cave as well. So he's probably going to go back and check Mimic Cave as well.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, this is a really good question. Where is that bow? Is it in Palace of Darkness?
Well, Mikan's checking left side swamp now. It could be there as well.
Yeah, this is the. If it's not in here, I'm actually wondering if it could be in Palace of Darkness.
Maybe, yeah. My next bet's meant Palace of Darkness.
Well, if it's not in the second chest here, the first one was a big 20. So let's see what this chest has. Is this the bow? Is this going to be our key item?
20.
No, it's another 20 rupees. I would not be surprised to see it on the first chest in Palace of Darkness. I honestly wouldn't. And then go to the Bowlock side.
And oddly enough, since we never found a big key, the big key is locked behind the big chest. For at least from what I can, from what I remember hearing, or at least seeing.
We have a call for bow on Graveyard Ledge. I don't think we've seen Graveyard Ledge yet, have we?
I don't believe so. Mikon actually checking the Bombos tablet first.
There it is!
There's the bow!
Call for it and it will come.
That is no mode.
Yeah, that if he had been able to finish Misery Mire on his first visit, which he couldn't, so it was actually being unable to finish it. But if he had been able to finish on his first visit, he'd be in go mode right now. But he's gonna have to make his way back to Misery Mire and get that ice rod before he's in true go mode himself.
Yeah, because this for Mikon, this is going to be a double dip, considering that he never went for the Palace and Mire in Mire. Well, he went for Mire first and went for Ice Palace second. Which
That's what the Palace and Mire was, yeah. So he went back to Link's house. He's waiting for the bird. It looks like, yep, there it is. Witty takes out Trinex. Willard is done his Mimic Cave check after getting his mirror. He's going to be... or actually, I thought he got his mirror. Do we just not have it marked off? Or is he going in for the first time?
He's going to go in there for the first time, it looks like.
No, he's done it. That chest is open. He must have picked it up, and we just don't have it marked.
Oh,
so
you're talking about
marked right now.
You're talking about Willard. Okay, I thought you were talking about Mikon.
Willard, yeah. The tracker just might have been a little slow to update. Understandable. That can happen sometimes.
Yeah.
So Willard is on his way to Trinex right now after checking Mimic Cave. And Mikon never checked Sahasrara's closet.
Yeah, so he's going to get his Tempered Sword here. And for pretty much Mikon, he can just leave the gold sword on the floating islands since he got all 3 swords. And really, the gold sword is marginally faster, but
he is making the Palace of Darkness play. It looks like he can't go to Eastern Palace first because the dungeon cannot be completed yet. But the bow could even be in Eastern Palace, so it's gonna be a question of which one he chooses to check first. I think it's in one of those two at this point, or it could be Graveyard Ledge, or it could be. Have we seen K45?
We've seen K45, yes, and there was a bottle of fairy nets.
I think we saw the blacksmith chain. I'm not sure if we saw purple chest yet.
I want to say we have not.
Well, I know we have someone that checked the blacksmith, and we have the flute. I really think he would have checked it really quickly. I think he might have seen it. I just don't remember what's in it.
Okay, so for weighty words, we need the book to get the bow, the book is in Swamp Palace. So weighty words is actually making that play now. He might be going into go mode in a little bit.
He would be our first runner to do so at that point. And Mikon going across to check the second. Actually, what am I talking about? Mikon has the bow. He can finish this no problem. He doesn't have to go Palace of Darkness. But he very well might go look Palace of Darkness looking for the ice rod later on.
And Willard is going for... I wonder what he's doing in the Mire area.
Misery Mire or going to... No, he's done Mire. It's not raining there. He's going to Desert Palace.
But first he's going to go do Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah, Checkerboard Cave. Maybe not Desert Palace. Maybe just Checkerboard Cave. But coming here for just the one item seems kind of weird. I'm suspecting... Oh, red mail. Not going to pick it up, though.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah. And by the way, that 10-bomb package you just saw Mikon pick up, that is one of the Uncle starting items in standard mode. If you're playing random Uncle weapon, you can actually start the game with just 10 bombs, and that's your weapon for escape. Good luck.
Yeah, it's annoying, but it is doable.
Very doable. I've seen it done very, very smoothly by very many runners.
But yeah, that was actually added in by the developers of the Randomizer.
And the torch in Desert Palace has a key, so let's see what's on the key side. We'll know if it was actually boots required. Not that it matters, because boots were in Hype Cave anyway. They're easy to find today.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty early in the season anyway, so it really, really does not matter.
Exactly.
People are just looking for that bow, and he doesn't even realize that he really needs to go to Swamp Palace first before doing anything else.
Well, once he gets that book out of Swamp Palace, that will lead him to the tablet. So he's just trying to figure out any way to get to the bow right now. And for all he knows, this could be it, and it's not it, obviously. You notice our runners are now down to the point they're checking pendant dungeons, so they're not sure what else to do. It looks like Willard and Wadey, well, Wadey's in Swamp now. Notice he's pretty much last location as the last crystal dungeon he's checking. But Willard, it looks like, just does not want to do Swamp Palace right now, which I can't blame. No one really wants to do Swamp Palace. They don't have to. McCann is doing the Arbos Knights right now. He does have silver arrows. This will be lightning fast, except he missed.
Yeah. Since the silver arrows do one shot, like one hit KO or one hit kill on the Arbos Knights, it's a blazing fast one. When works on the Argus fight, and this shows how quick this fight really is when you have a tempered sword.
And Willard is checking K45 now. We know that is not the play.
Because he was dipping into pod.
And he doesn't bother with the third bottle. So I was suspicious that the bow could be down here until we found it on the tablet.
And Witty Words killing Argus, getting his 6th crystal.
And all he has to do is find that bow, which should be happening in very short order if he remembers he picked up a book. He has the mirror out. He's going in that direction. We're going to be in go mode. Watch
it's going to be a go mode at about 1:11, but the exact time is going to be shown as soon as he gets that bow.
Yeah. So we are about 20 minutes ahead. That means he could be coming up to the finish of the race live right now. We are 20 minutes behind again. But now at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 25 seconds, Weighty Words is in go mode. And that means, for those who are not familiar with what go mode means, here's the best way to explain it. You don't have to open any other chest. Just get the game done.
Yeah, you have all the items. You're just going to go and finish all the dungeons you can do.
The only exception is you may have to still open chests for keys, for example. Like in Ganon's Tower, you have to find the big key. But other than that, you're done opening things. Just go finish.
Now, it is possible to get a Schrodinger's go mode, which usually refers to if you need the boots for the Ganon's Tower big key. If it's on the Bob's Torch, that's the most common term of Schrodinger's go mode.
There could be another one with the Master Sword being in Ganon's Tower, for example, in the big chest. We've seen that happen before, where the Master Sword came out of the big chest in Ganon's Tower. So things like that, where you're just hoping something shows up in Ganon's Tower, you don't have to open anything else. But and sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. I've even seen Ganon's Tower completed with the Fighter Sword.
Yeah, since you can't really do anything. You just need to do whatever you can to fight Ganon, and thankfully, Soulless mode actually makes the Ganon fight a lot more, I guess, reasonable.
Well, you kind of need silver arrows 100% on that one, unless you're very, very eye-lucky.
Yes, of course. Econ grabbing the magic powder from Pod.
So McCann is checking all the chests in Palace of Darkness. This is literally down the rabbit hole right now because the one item he needs, he's going to probably last location because he's doing the much more item dense check. I don't blame him for going here first, but we do know that the Ice Rod is sitting over with Vitreous, and this is all, unfortunately for him. Well, you got the Cane of Burner, so Brian, we know where your cane is. Go claim it in Palace of Darkness. But other than that, we know that this is pretty much a waste of time.
And you saw Willard doing that trick with the statue, like I mentioned previously. But this is from the bottom. It makes you move a lot more quicker when you're doing the left and right motion. It just makes things a little bit more quicker. And with that, Weighty Words has his 7th crystal.
So I heard you say 7th crystal. That means that we have a game to play. We're not going to run the bot because this is still a community race. But we have a game to play here in the chat for those who want to play. If you pick a number from 1 to 22, as McCann checks Sick Kid, by the way, pick a number from 1 to 22, you can guess where Ganon's Tower Big Key is located today. Again, 1 to 22. There are 5 more chests, but they're not part of the game because you can't get to them without the big key. That includes the big chest and 4 upstairs. So where, Professor Ryder, do you think that is today?
Normally I would do my little stick about there would be possible locations where it could be like a rando room, the fire snake room, dark magician room, if masochist, like at the tile room. But my guess will always be the same. It's going to be 11, preferably the rando room.
I should have made my guess first, huh?
Because we think alike.
It's 11 because always. Should we just play the same guess or should I be different?
You should do something different to make it means a lot more like it's less confusing.
Okay, fine. Let's I'll be evil. Tile room.
Okay.
We'll call it 22.
All right, fair enough.
Double 11.
Double or nothing. And I did give one of them right on one of the daily races I did. So it's my guess. It does have some merit. So there's that.
So you're 1 for about 75.
Pretty much.
I've gotten it right a few times too. I know the feeling.
Yeah, I always stick with 11, and I guess you told me to stick with 11. So whatever.
I said stick to one number. I didn't say stick to my number. But anyway,
okay,
we are opening.
Fair enough.
We are opening Ganon's Tower, and that means all guessing shall now cease, as we are now going to start opening chests.
All right, number 1 is going to be on the Bob's torch, and that is 50 rupees.
Yep, Bob's going to live today. And if you want to know who Bob is, hopefully we'll get to see him later, but we may not. We're going to have at least half the chest going that way.
Yeah, I'll actually explain it if we don't see it. Bob is a little anti-fairy that we dubbed just because it's a glitched item, looks like. It looks like a glitched item. It looks glitched heart piece. Number 2 is a key. The map is number 3. Number 4 is going to be another key, and the 5th key is going to be the big key.
Well, we're not going to see Bob today.
Yeah, it's a glitched heart piece that's meant to be the anti-fairy sprite. That's what Bob is.
And I think there's a hi Bob mode on Frankerface that is connected to the chat here as well. So that shows you what Bob looks like.
And looks like our closest guess is actually a tie between Black Oxygen and Jason Denick.
Well, we're going to give it to the first guess here. If I can figure out who... I actually didn't even see the 5 in there. Are you sure we saw a 5? I don't see a 5.
I don't see a 5 either. It's going
6.
to be Black Oxygen with 6.
Yeah, you're looking for a 6 or a 4, and that is, Black Oxygen is the oxytocin, is how I think you say that, is the first to say 6 or something closer to 5 than 5. So as a result, Black Oxytocin, you are the winner of the Big Key Guessing Game. That means you get what's the prize today?
Cold Stare Creamery.
Oh yeah, that's a favorite. Cold Stare Creamery.
And as Scruff points out, the closest guess without going over is Jason Denick. We've been having this little joke about the prices right rules.
Anyway, let's talk about the gauntlet because that's what we're facing right now. Waiting Word is going through the most difficult serious rooms in the game because BMOs on conveyor belts are the absolute most difficult thing you could face in this game, maybe. But he's making it look easy because, you know, with Blue Mail, in his case, about 10 hearts, all the weapons he could ever need, it is fairly easy.
Yeah, and now he's going to be ending that gauntlet fight with the Lambo 2 fight.
And the difference between this and the Desert Palace one, which we did not get to see today, is there's a statue in the corner taking pot shots at you.
Yeah, and that's can be a little tricky. So you can't just stand in one place. I mean, you can stand in one place if you know how the setup works, but just be careful.
Well, he's a mirror shield. He can stand in one place.
Yeah, of course. He's got the mirror shield, so it'll work. So here's one of my favorite rooms in the game.
I love this. This is beautiful. It's always nice to see that done properly.
Yeah, it's the most easiest one. It's the most satisfying room, but the most satisfying room is this one coming up here.
Is this one right here. Because you get the same thing, but you get to kill one at the same time, and it's just like poetry.
Yeah, and that's something I have yet to do myself. So I want to practice that whenever I get the chance to. It's always fun to watch.
By the way, we have not really been talking about it, but Willard J. Bradley is also in go mode, so he is now in Eastern Palace with his bow.
Mm-hmm.
Buchanan is just taking on Vitreous right now, and at 1 hour and 19 minutes and 32 seconds, he is also in go mode.
All right, so that's all the go mode players in the counted for. Weighty words. There actually is a little bit of a interesting thing that can be really annoying if you're weighty words if you don't do it correctly. It is possible to despawn Ganon's tower if the jingle happens at the same time you're going up the stairs.
Luckily, it did not happen, and Moldorm is home. And when that does happen, by the way, the only way to fix that is to literally mirror back to the start of Ganon's tower and go through those 5 floors all over again. It is super annoying. It is a huge time loss. You do not want to do that.
Yeah, and it's really annoying. And Weighty Words is going to take out Moldorm's treasure, which is 3 bombs.
Moldorm didn't need him. He's dead.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he's like, what? He was going to throw bombs at us? Like, nah.
Easy.
Yeah, there's no way Moldorm can throw bombs. He's a worm. Anyway, and to
So Weighty Words crosses the Mothfield welcome mat into Aghanim's Aghanim 2's room. Why Aghanim 2? I don't know. We haven't seen Aghanim 1, so we can't really comment that. Let's just call him Aghanim.
It's a refight.
Yeah, it is supposed to be a refight, but we didn't get to see the first one.
Yeah, because it was already dead at least 4 minutes in.
Yeah, we never went to it, basically. So Willard is out of Eastern Palace. He's on his way to Ganon's Tower right now, but Weighty Words is already finishing Ganon's Tower, and he's going to be leaving via Swag Duck Air to the pyramid, where a hole is going to be created in the shape of a cuckoo, and that is where Ganon is waiting.
Yeah, I don't know why it looks like a cuckoo, but it does.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, it vaguely looks like a cuckoo. I don't know. If you squint at it, it looks like a cuckoo.
Yeah, those are legs. Anyway,
yeah,
Ganon's line, thanks for dropping in. The first passengers on hot air balloon were a duck, a sheep, and a rooster.
Speaking of animals.
There were no pigs present, so we'll just fillet this one.
Oh,
so
okay, then.
So there's 4 phases on Ganon. We're already done phase 1, where he basically throws the trident at you. Now Weighty is going to park himself in the corner in the circle of what will eventually be fire bats and just keep slashing until he has to dodge the fire bats, which is now.
Yeah, if you line him up in the corner just right, you can do doubles, so you can do spins and hit him twice. So it may spend a lot more time. The more preferable location is going to be up in the upper right corner, where you won't be able to worry about it at all. Yeah.
And I've also seen it done with the Palace and Mire block, which is neat as well. So now Ganon is in temper tantrum mode, as I like to call it, because he pounds the floor out when you slash him because he's angry that you are beating him.
Yeah, and now into phase 4, this is this hint gives you what if you find the arrows in whatever world it is in, and we did find them in the light world, and we're about to finish. It's about to finish this fight up once and for all. And
Mini Moldorm Cave was in third chest, if I remember. So that is the Ganon fight completed. And Weighty Words will be the first of our on-stream runners to finish the seed if he can cross the 1x3 bridge. We will cover all finishers shortly as he does so. Before I get his time, I always like to see what the Triforce says. So let's see what words of wisdom the Triforce gives us today. The Triforce says to us, unto us, you get 1 wish. Choose wisely, hero. First place in a randomizer seed race? Let's find out. Weighty Words finishes with an official, if I can find where it was in the chat now.
The official SRL time of 1:22:57, which is good enough for second place overall. So
he
still has podium spot.
And we have, by the way, we do have 1 finisher because you said that was second place. We need to talk about the winner of the seed, but we'll get to that in a moment because we do have another finisher I want to cover very quickly. Right after Weighty Words, Jet082. He finished with a 1:23:04 in third place. We can't cover any other finish at this point because we don't have any at this point. But I can confirm that the winner of the race was Asder, who finished with a 1:21:19. So only about a minute and a half, almost a minute and a half, actually a little over a minute and a half before Weighty Words. Get your GGs in chat for him. He wins today's qualifier.
And looks like Weighty Words is ready for an interview.
We can go ahead and bring him in if he hasn't already. And there he is. GG, waiting words.
Hey, thanks. GG's.
Congratulations on the second place finish. What were your thoughts on this seed today?
Thank you. It was an interesting seed, but like it got pretty straightforward at the end. But like the beginning was super interesting because of that super early Dark World access. I really like seeds that are open in the beginning because there's so many options that you can do. But the cane and the flips were kind of funny.
Yeah, those were the items. Kind of a lot of the items turned out to be in a really awkward locations today. The Chaos Samaria being in Ice Palace, for example. We had two runners on the restream, Mikan and Bentizi. Bentizi unfortunately had to forfeit. Looks like he had technical problems. But they both went into Misery Mire without the Chaos Samaria. They went to it very early. They got all the items they could get to and left. So they weren't able to go to Misery Mire. Or they weren't at Ice Palace before going to Misery Mire. They weren't able to finish the boss.
Yeah, I mean, I also did the same thing. I went into Misery Mire before Ice Palace, which is funny because I was running out of options, looking for progression, and I was like, okay, I probably if I fake flipper into ice, I get those 3 items plus the Pyramid Fairy. I should do that, but I was checking the Mire area, and Mire was Quake, and I was like, eh. It's like eh or what?
As you say that, I just realized. As you say that, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but as you say that, I just realized you logically had to go to Misery Mire first to get the. If you fake flippered, it would have been your seed in this case.
Yeah. Yep. It would have been. It would have been a really weird play considering Swamp was also a crystal. But I mean, I could see someone doing that because of it being a Pyramid Fairy crystal and getting you a lot of items.
Now, what were your thoughts on that mirror on Laser Bridge? That was a bit of an awkward spot.
Yeah, I was afraid to find that. I was hoping for the bow instead. But yeah, I was like, because I had a mirror out of there just to check Mimic Cave. I was scared of the bow being in Mimic Cave, so that was a waste of time for me mirroring to go back to Mimic Cave to check it.
To be honest, we were getting worried about bow Mimic Cave as well. To be honest with you, that would have been an awful placement.
For sure. Yeah, but like finding the mirror is a little scary because there's so many like one-off locations that the mirror can have, like Graveyard Ledge, K45, Checkerboard, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little worried, but I mean, I just went for the high-density play in Swamp. It worked out. It was funny because I went into Turtle Rock with the fire shield, and I was like, wait, I don't technically have laser bridge access. And then got the mirror shield there. I was like, oh, okay, why not? It's funny because like the other 2 shields were on Dark Death Mountain too. They were on Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave, so they were all up there.
Yeah, they were all Death Mountain shields today. And again, the shields aren't really that important. A lot of runners can do laser bridge without any shield, to be honest, because a lot of top runners know how to get around the lasers in a unique fashion. But obviously having the mirror shield is convenient because you don't have to worry about clipping. You just walk right through it. And
exactly.
Do it as intended. I've actually seen seeds where you have to have the Chaos Samaria to get to Laser Bridge as well, and it's on the pedestal, so things like that can happen too.
Yeah, I don't like the mirror shield because it covers up my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also
I like looking at my sprite. I picked the sprite, I want to look at it. The mirror shield doesn't let me do that.
Yeah, it also lags the game too. So
exactly. There's nothing good about it. It's nothing good about it.
Which is why no one ever wants to pick up the mirror shield if they can avoid it.
Yeah.
So Willard J. Bradley is on his way to the GAN fight right now, we should point out. Don't want to lose track of our remaining runners here, of course. We're about 128 right now as he drops into the Ganon fight. Let's cover a couple other finishers that we have at this point. I can confirm that Rywek finished in 4th place with a time of 125.46. Free Rage finished with a 127.01, and that's about where we can stop at this point. And Willard getting his hot air balloon facts as he starts the GAN fight. So again, this is phase 1 where he throws the trident. And now we got enough damage to force him to turn fire bats loose on us. And this is a good placement. I like this placement by Willard. Using the hook shot, because if you're in hook shot throwing mode, you're invincible. As long as that hook shot is out. So that's a little strat you see runners often use right there as well. Dodges the fire bat that way. Unfortunately got hit by that one, but it's going to get the hit on Ganon. Now it's
we call those invincibility frames or iframes for short.
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because with the hook shot, you're pretty much invincible. You have iframes, technically speaking. That's what That's what you do, and you cannot be hit by anything else.
So now he's got the last hit in this mode, and now he's just got to get the silver arrows himself, going for torch glitch. Got the first silver arrow hit, very nicely done. Gets the torch glitch, gets the extra shot again. This should be a double, I think. There it is.
Yeah.
One more hit will do it, and Willard is going to cross the line. Now I've only covered 5 finishes so far. Let's see where Willard ends up here as he's going to cross the line in just a moment. Maybe. There it is. That was a little slow on his part. I'm not sure what happened there. But he does finish with an official SRL time of 1:29.48.
Give it time.
Okay, hold on. Before we cover that, there was a 6th place finisher before him of 1:29.02, but we have a dead heat between Willard J. Bradley and Scary Olive. 7th place for each of them. So there is no 8th place. They both get 7th place. They share 7th place with the 1:29.48. Very nicely done. You don't see ties like that very often. And we just have Mikan, who is doing the fight with Agadam 2 right now, so we're going to see him fighting again in just a moment. In the meantime, we'll see if Willard does wish to join us as well.
Well, he's right here in our booth right now. GG, man.
Hey.
That was Chaz. GG.
Yeah, GG's Willard.
I'm mad for several reasons. But more importantly, I'm mad that I tied for 7th because I moved to the top of the screen and forgot to dash right away, which is why my animation didn't start, which is why it took me longer to dot done. Because if you're at the top of the screen, your animation, the whole door opening animation doesn't start. And I was like, I'm going to stand here, I'm going to dash, and then I'm going to open up IRC to type dot done and blah, blah, blah. Thankfully, I noticed, otherwise I would have fallen.
Yeah, so. We have seen runners fall before doing that. I know there was one time I saw someone miss a PB because he fell and didn't realize that was going to happen. So
a rando PB.
Yeah.
Those are important.
Yes, a rando PB. Who would have known?
So important.
Exactly. But anyway, what were your thoughts on that seed tonight?
It was very interesting, very wide open for a good chunk of it. I feel like I floundered for most of it, just kind of like, what do I do? Where do I go? What's gonna work out? And then, like I wanted to go to Skull Woods as soon as I got a sword, but I was like, I'm like 5 hearts green mail. I could probably do it, but I don't really want to risk it. And then there was the same thing with Ice Palace. I was like ready to sequence break it, but I was like, green mail, Master Sword, 6 hearts or something. I don't know if I want to do that. Which kind of forced me to check a bunch of extra stuff, including doing all of Thieves Town, which is a big waste of time. The Thieves Town play was probably the most costly for me. And then Death Mountain having pretty much nothing. And because of that, despite making some good plays, like getting Kane and being able to do Mire in one go, even after going straight to T-Rock and getting the mirror, I was like, if I go straight to Swamp, I lose. There's no way I can cover what I did. So I need to hope that the bow is in like Desert or Checkerboard or somewhere else first. So I checked that, K45. And then, of course, the whole, do I do left side Swamp or not? Those are pretty timely.
Yeah,
costly.
And it turns out, ironically enough, by the end, Swamp Palace, we do see the Meekan finish. I'll get to that in a second. But ironically enough, Swamp Palace did turn out to be required because you got to get the book in order to get the bow. And it's just kind of weird how that worked out that you had to do that in that order. So in the end, Swamp did come to be necessary. I don't like having to full clear Swamp Palace myself.
It also had a crystal.
Yeah, it also had a crystal. We had to do it anyway, but you couldn't go mode it is more what we were getting at there because you had to get the book out of there to get the bow.
Oh.
So you had no choice but to finish it completely.
You should have said that.
Yeah. Anyway, Mikan did finish, and we'll get. Let me just see if there's any other finishers around his point as well. We have. He's a 10th place finisher at 132.38, so he's going to round out our top 10. Our remaining member of the top 10 not already covered is 1up40, who finished with a 132.17 in 9th place. So that's our top 10 that we've now covered. Give your GGs in chat for all of them today. We'll see if Mikan wants to join us as well. So, out of curiosity, how many qualifiers have each of you done so far?
First one.
This is my first one.
Oh, first one for both of you. And and obviously I understand you both. I know, Willard, you're planning to go to the event, correct?
I'm planning on going regardless.
Exactly. I know you were at one time involved as a high-ranking member of SpeedGaming. I assumed you would definitely be going to the event, especially to be part with the link to the Palace community as well. But Waiting Words, are you definitely going to the event as well?
Yeah, I'm also definitely going. I've already booked everything, so.
Very nice, very nice. And just still trying to see if Mikan is joining us, so bear with us here.
He's also right here.
He is there.
It's the second time I told you about this.
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
GG, Mikan.
Dude, I'm mad. I'm mad at video games.
Same.
So I take it that didn't go the way you liked it today, Megan.
I did everything correct, I feel, after stumbling through Skullwoods early on and then getting the boots. I feel like I got everything pretty rapidly after that. I know I ended up double dipping Mire because I was pretty low equipment going in there and didn't really feel confident going all the way to Vitreous, which figures. I think the smart thing would have been to go fight Vitreous after getting the bow. That would have been ideal, but that is not what I did for some reason. I don't know. I would have saved so much time if I had done that.
It was one of those weird setups as well where you had to do things like if you didn't fake flip at Ice Palace, you had to go to Misery Mire just to get to Ice Palace to go back to Misery Mire. And then you had to do Swamp Palace just to get the bow to be able to finish Eastern Palace. Like, this was it started out as really open layout of items where you had a lot of options where to go, but then it had a couple of interesting twists in there to really twist your noodle, so to speak.
Yeah, it seemed pretty convoluted, but I still feel like I got everything correct until deciding not to go back to Mire immediately. I followed the logic.
Where did you go after you got the bow? You went and did Eastern and then Pod?
I did Eastern and Pod, and then I went and did.
I mean, it's one item, so it's understandable, but
I mean, Crystal Dungeon you have to do. I
exactly
should have done it in the first place.
What'd you find in Eastern? Was there any goodies in there?
I don't know about Eastern, but Pod had the powder and Burno.
Yeah, Burno was in Palace of Darkness, yeah.
Neat.
I was so tempted after T-Rock. Also, did you guys mirror out after getting the mirror to check Mimic Cave?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw that.
Everyone did that.
Good.
I had to. That place
Dude, if it
is
was
so
there,
bad.
that would have been legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were starting to fear that bow was going to be Mimic Cave, and I'm thinking, if they don't find the mirror here, like, I was like, okay, let's have the mirror here that we can check Mimic Cave, and boom, there it is. They're like, okay, don't tell me the bow is here. That would just be, like, evil. Like, legendary evil.
No way, that would have been awesome.
It would have been awesome. Yeah, it would have been awesome.
That's exactly what I wanted. I was, after finishing T-Rock, I was tempted, because I was like, Spike Cave, man, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. And I was so tempted to go down to the shop that's at, like, the bottom, like, right next to the Super Bunny. Get a red potion and then go over there and do that, but nah, I ain't that crazy.
If Mire didn't pan out, I was totally going to go do Ether Tablet and Spike Cave because I had just gotten burn.
I was going to do that after Bombos if Bombos was nothing. Because I was like, if I go to Pyramid Fairy, then I'm going to just go Pyramid Fairy straight to Pod, Eastern, and hope it's there. But I was like, if the bow's there, how come no one's finished yet? I mean, if it was like deep in Pod or something, maybe I could see that. But I am glad I never had to go to that terrible, terrible dungeon. And I'm also glad that the GT Big Key was in the Stalfos room. It made that terrible, terrible dungeon less terrible.
Yeah, it's a lot of chests you didn't have to check, and that saves a lot of time from chest checking as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that definitely does help when you have an early GT Big Key.
I can't believe I lost to Weighty Words. Terrible Monday.
Hey, I named my files Beat Willard, so it was fate. It was fate.
I'm sad Ben Teasy, my good friend Ben Teasy, had to bail out after his cold stare death. Very unfortunate.
Oh, I didn't know it was a cold stare death. We actually cut out before he got to cold stare. So
yeah, that's what he said. He died to cold stare.
I thought maybe it was a technical problem because the stream just froze. He's actually still sitting in one of the early rooms in the in the very entrance, the very second floor of Ice Palace. He's still in one of those early entrance rooms on our screen.
Yeah.
So I didn't know it was a cold stare death. That must have really must have happened more than once, I'm guessing, because
No. Just
no,
takes
just the
once.
maybe just decided he was done.
You don't really die from cold stare and bring it back. That doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
It's not against this lineup of players.
Yo,
No.
shoutouts to that half magic location. That saved my butt in Ice Palace
Dudes,
because
oh yeah, yeah.
I was
Don't-
not
Where
looking
was
forward.
that?
That was on Hobo.
Hobo.
It
Yeah.
was on Hobo. Okay, I got that early.
It was
I
on Hobo.
fake flippered after boots. So
The one time I don't do early, like fake flipper water walk shenanigans. I usually always do it right at the beginning, but because of Moon Pearl being in Zelda, or where was Moon Pearl again? Was that
Uncle?
No, that was
or,
Mitz was at Zelda. So Pearl was. No, I'm thinking of the last seed I did
I
yesterday.
believe the secret chest.
Yeah.
Titans Bit was in Treasure Game, actually.
Yep. Sorry, I've done like 3 seeds today, so it's all kind
No
of
worries, no worries.
meshing together.
Hey, warm up was always nice.
Huh?
Warm up was always nice. Having
Yeah.
warm up before your match or your
Yeah.
qualifier.
Yeah, me and Mikon did a 1v1. It was great. I lost by
kicked his
2
butt.
and some odd minutes. And then I beat him by 2 and some odd minutes. There it is.
Hey, revenge.
Revenge has happened here live on Speed Gaming.
I know.
All right, we need to wrap this up. Any final thoughts on the seed?
Thanks for the early boots. Please do that again.
yeah, that was amazing finding those boots.
Literally
there.
every time if I get boots like before 15 minutes, I don't care how bad the seed is. The seed's already good for me.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
down with it.
I mean, this earlier earlier tempered would have been nicer, but early boots I can't complain, and it was a pretty good seed.
I think replying to what you, Willard, you and Mikan were talking about, JP just replied, Game 3 tonight. So I think he's ready for another
Oh,
match
God.
right now. Anyway,
No.
so I want to give you each a chance to shout out for, since I know this is only your first race in the tournament, especially for two of you. I don't know about Mikan. But when are you all planning to take part in your next race, just so we can give a shout out for your own fans here?
I would have to know what days they are. and
Yeah,
what times.
I don't
I
know the
literally no
the
idea.
schedules.
This was just like there's a qual today. Oh, I guess I'm joining it.
I'm pretty much
So-
the same way. I don't really plan too far ahead in advance. If I
Yeah.
have time, I'll do it. If I don't, then I won't.
Are they like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Basically?
The schedule is actually all up right now. Let me
Yeah,
actually find it.
I'm aware.
I think so.
I just want to know from
Yeah.
you, Cyclone, if what I said was correct.
You
the
were
next
correct,
one is-
Willard.
Then there's one on August 14th, there's one on August 16th, there's one on August 17th.
I don't- that
there's
doesn't
one
tell
on
me
August
List
anything.
every single one of them.
I got nothing. But yeah, thank you guys for letting me and my friends be on your restream. That was fun.
Yeah, that was really funny when Rick announced that.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
I wasn't there when he announced that, so yeah, it was neat to see that all of you guys on there tonight, and nice to have very, very, very good runners racing on the stream for this qualifier tonight, and a really good finish by Weighty Words. Congrats on that as well, on that second place finish.
Thanks.
So good luck to all of you in the rest of your qualifiers, and we look forward to potentially seeing you on the restream again. Should we have the opportunity to have that?
Yeah.
Thanks
for coming.
GG's. Yep.
No problem. And with that said, again, make sure you follow all of our runners, all the name, and then as well as Ben Teasy, who unfortunately did have that cold stare death, which I didn't know about, and we weren't aware of. But make sure to follow all the runners' names are exactly the same on the screen, except for Mikan, who is under Mikens with an S, and then Box, Mikan's Box. For those of you on YouTube, twitch.tv, follow by
Get it
any
right.
of those names. Yeah, get it right. If you're on YouTube, get that right.
Get it right. Get it done correctly.
Exactly.
Yes,
You will not find him at Mikan. You will find someone else who isn't Mikan. Anyway, for the next qualifier is on August 14th at, and actually, let me get it back in front of me, August 14th at 8:15 p.m. And that one is a really nice prime time slot, so make sure you come by and watch that one. We have additional qualifiers August 16th at 3:15 p.m., August 17th at 12:15 p.m. Those are all Eastern time. Check your local listings if you are in Europe or anywhere else in the world, and get the correct time for your time zone. Those are for the link to the past randomizer. Make sure to go to the Speed Gaming Live website, SG Live website. It is in the chat, speedgaming.org/SG Live. For more information on all the qualifiers, you can also find all the qualifiers listed on our schedule at speedgaming.org/schedule. And you'll be able to find each channel that it's on and go to that channel and watch them as they take place. And that includes our Ocarina of Time randomizer and any other ones that come on there as well. I'm trying to think what else is on there, like, so I'm not coming to my brain right now. But all of them are on there. You can get all the dates and times for all those qualifiers on that website. And make sure to tune in for SpeedGaming Live October 24th to 27th when we do get to that point. It is going to be hype. I'm looking forward to seeing that happen here.
Me too.
Exactly. And support all the tournaments that are happening at SpeedGaming Live. And we look forward to all the other events, Super Mario Maker 2, the Marathon, all the other things going on there as well. So with that said, just a quick peek at the SpeedGaming schedule before we wrap up here. I'm just going to refresh it to make sure I have the most up-to-date information for all of you here, as it is now Tuesday, August 13th on the East Coast of the United States and Canada. And we do have, now that it is that day, I can say later today at 11 a.m., we're going to have some Diddy Kong racing for that tournament that's going on right now. We have our Link to the Past Randomizer open race going on. Same type of thing you saw tonight, but with hints enabled. So hints are back on tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock. We have some Super Metroid Double Anti-Bingo and some Zelda 2 Randomizer weekly race action going on as well. Very light schedule tomorrow, but you can get more information on that again at our schedule link, speedgaming.org/schedule or !schedule in chat. Make sure you follow SpeedGaming and SpeedGaming 2 through 6 for any time the channels come live. You'll know, and you can make your decision whether you want to watch what is being broadcast. We will tell you what that is, obviously, on the Twitch alert. Any last thoughts from you, Professor Render, before we wrap up?
And I also want to make sure, too, I want to bring this up, too, for my final thoughts. We have, at 9 o'clock as well, we have a daily race for Random Casual, which I'm interested in what that's going to be.
I'm curious as well, actually. I don't think I've seen that category listed like that before.
But for my final thoughts, live long and prosper, and have lots of donuts, and don't be a peck neck.
Donuts. Excuse me. Anyway, moving on. With that said, it's about high time we wrap here. Thank you again to all the runners. Make sure to follow our commentary. Well, not just our commentary, I should say our trackers, because I'm the part of the commentary group. Make sure you follow our trackers for tonight's race. We'll get their links in chat again here. And those were Mr. Scruff, Ninja Tuna, and Nif Boy, I think was our other tracker there. So thank you for your participation and help in tracking tonight's race and keeping the buttons updated so we knew what we were talking about most of the time. And thank you, Professor Render, for joining me on the CoCom. And I'll give you the final word in a moment, but I just want to say good night to everyone here, first of all. If it weren't for you, chat, and everyone watching, we'd be talking to ourselves, which, in a sense, is kind of what we're doing anyway. So thank you for tuning in and watching us talk to ourselves and to you. And we hope to see you for the next qualifier in a couple of days. Make sure to tune into the additional qualifiers and races here on SpeedGaming in the meantime. If none of that interests you, we look forward to seeing you at 8:15 on Wednesday night, Eastern Time, for the next qualifier in the qualifier number 10 in the Link to the Past Randomizer qualifiers for SpeedGaming Live. So if we don't see you sooner, see you then. Have a good night. May not all your C's be pet C's. Professor Render, take us out.
And to everyone who are watching Speed Game, this is Professor Render signing off.